we've arrived now at a place where we have stripped clean all of the attributes that are sometimes associated with awareness, the characteristics, all the phenomena.
Mm-hmm.
And we've sort of created, even on a very subtle level, awareness as something different than what awareness is aware of.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. And that's very, very subtle. And we start going then into...
It's subtle enough for many people to not even worry about it.
Right.
And nor does Atmananda say you have to worry about it.
Right, right. So there are no psychological characteristics, there's no physical characteristics, there's just no characteristics to it at all. And no purpose to it.
Right.
At all.
Purpose would be another...
Now, when I said there were no attributes, I have to say that my experience tells me that, in fact, there are some attributes.
Mm-hmm.
And maybe we need to talk about those. There is this sense of awe and wonder about sentience itself,
mm-hmm.
about intelligence
mm-hmm.
and life and beauty itself,
mm-hmm.
and wonder just at how unbelievable the whole thing is.
Mm-hmm.
So I guess, in a sense, you could call those attributes.
Yeah, you could call them a... you could soften it as much as you want.
Mm-hmm.
and say it's the fragrance or the
perfume,
sort of a warmth
right.
that is just this awareness. It's coming sort of like into these arisings. It's diminishing the distinction between itself and arisings.
Mm-hmm.
It is warmth and beauty and love, openness, clarity,
mm-hmm.
all those things.
Mm-hmm. So this, by the time each arising is greeted in the moment as a single event, arising, being there, and disappearing, there is a growing awareness that the arising itself is nothing other than awareness.
Mm-hmm. Because you run out of candidates. There's really nothing else for it to be.
Nothing else you could lay it on.
Right. And so it might happen that the tendency to characterize it in some other way itself diminishes.
Mm-hmm.
That's what that would be. That you don't need an explanation for them,
right.
because that would be one of those like relationship
right.
things.
Right.
And so that's one way that the distinction between them can disintegrate over time, because the other candidates having been disqualified, this is not going to turn into another candidate. It's
mm-hmm.
just the question kind of like dissolves.
Right.
And that's how it would happen. One way. It could also be looked into analytically. That's what happened with me. Because I noticed that this was still a dualistic situation, although an infinitely sweet one.
Mm-hmm. Right.
So I looked into it, but you
right.
don't have to.
Right. So perhaps there's as an apparent sequence. There's a period of time where things appear to awareness. That would be sort of a stage in this thing. And then there's an awakening to the fact that things are appearing in awareness, and then maybe ultimately things are appearing as awareness.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
And the notion of the in kind of like is very,
mm-hmm.
very, very weak, and it's no longer spatial.
Mm-hmm.
So it's more like the way a wave would appear in the ocean,
mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm. It would be more like seen as water and less as a wave, and less as being contained by the water,
mm-hmm.
And it just, all these distinctions just weaken.
Mm-hmm.
They seem more soft and diffuse, as though they have edges of light and it kind of permeates inwards.